Hey guys and gals, how you doing? This is Big Dog, Benny Henderson Jr. coming at you live from Big Dog Radio, brought to you by the one and only Fighting Words Radio Network, exclusively on Blog Talk Radio. That was a little bit of Agent Orange, Cry for Help. I was going to play some new Soil, but for some reason the damn board fried. I do apologize to all the fans, of Soil fans out there, but I'll tell you what, if you go to iTunes, you can buy their latest album, Whole, which is just kick ass. You can buy it really cheap, and it's well worth the money. So I do apologize to the Soul fans for not playing a song, but you could buy the whole album for less than $10, or buy a song a piece for 99 cents. It's well worth it, and the band deserves the support. So, of course, any questions or comments, you can reach us here at 347-202-0832. Shoot me an email at bigdogmedia7@aol.com. I am really excited about this show. I have been a fan of this cat for many years. I really believe that he has one of the strongest voices in music, man, besides, guys like Ronnie James Dio, who I love. I mean, Judas Priest, and this guy right here has a very strong voice. The band Soil, man, has been around for since 97. I first heard when they come out with Scars, and now they have the new album just dropped this past August. It is entitled Whole. Soil is back with their front man, who just, like I said, is just a great guy, great, awesome talent. The one and only Ryan McCombs, and we're joined right now with the man of the band, Ryan McCombs. Man, how you doing, my brother? Welcome to Big Dog Radio.
I am doing good, man. Thank you very much for having me.
No,
all the
I
kind
thank
words.
you so much.
You talked me up pretty good right there.
Yeah, I've been drinking. So. Honestly, I'm doing this show sober. Yeah, I'm doing this show sober, so it's probably going to suck. I'm on my end, not your end, by the way. But,
this could be a train wreck with us both being sober then.
Yeah, exactly. I know years ago we were doing a show, and I can't remember the guest because I was drinking the Crown Royal. My dad had me a big bottle of it, and right before the show, the other co-host, Lord bless me, has been gone now about 2 years. But my best friend Bob, we're sitting there talking, and I said, hey, I just opened up my bottle of Crown Royal and took 2 shots. And he was like, son of a bitch. And we did a whole show for an hour and a half. I don't remember none of it, but I was threatening to whoop some dude's ass with a boat paddle. I mean, I drank the whole bottle. It was very entertaining. I don't think that guest ever came back on, Ryan. So,
can't take a joke.
Yeah, I really got to say, Ryan, that it's an honor to speak with you. But, I got to say that the new CD is just, the whole, it is just honestly rock solid, man. It's just, it's badass. I mean, it's just, to me, it's like retro Soil. You picked up where you left off with the band. That's just my opinion. I got to ask, how does it feel to be back with Soil, man, and just kicking that ass with all these new tunes?
Well, first of all, man, thank you very much for the good words. It's good. It spent about 8 years away from the guys and just being back together and doing this new record and doing it on our own and being able to call the shots on it and actually, produce the true Soil album to date. It was a great experience, and it was just fun doing it and getting those emotions and being able to write with the guys again. I missed writing with Adam so much, and just being able to throw the stuff out there it's been a fun time so far.
Yeah, and it's. I love the new album, man. I say album still. I'm sorry, I'm like old school, but I love them. The music is really great. Shine On, it's a badass video, and I got to tell you this. I was watching it today, some old Soil videos on TV, on YouTube, just kind of get the feel for it again because it's been a while. And my mother, I think she was trying to hit on you. She was like, "Oh, he has such pretty eyes." I'm like, "Okay, I'll tell him." I mean, "Oh, he has such pretty hair." I'm like, "All right, Mom." "Oh, look at his microphone." "All right, Mom." Shit.
I'm in good with your mom. I got it. All right, cool.
Yeah, So, but the new CD, like I said, it's kick-ass. It's getting really great reviews from what I've read. After all these years, man, from 97 until now, I mean, your thoughts on the fans still supporting not only Soil, but yourself, man. How does it feel to have these loyal fans, man?
It's unbelievable. I mean, I've sat back so many times, especially here with coming back into the Soil fold, so many years later, and just it's amazing that I'm still allowed to do this for a living. And I mean, that is because of the people that supported me over the years and supported the bands that I've been a part of over the years. And you know, if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't still be here. I would have had to, you know, go sell shoes a long time ago or something. But you know, thankfully, from their support and their you know, believing in the fact that what they're getting is me, and supporting that is the one major reason I'm still here. So it's really a humbling feeling to think about that.
And that's so crazy because you know, I told my mother today, and I'm sorry, my mama's boy, but you know, and I don't live with my mom. To all the listeners out there, I'm not living with my mother. They're thinking that 38-year-old man lives with his mother. That's not. I just want to know that I'm not like living with my mother, living in her basement, wearing women's skin. Just to know that, okay?
You just ruined my whole picture I had in my
head. That's it. But you know, you're down. You know, it's so crazy, man, because the music just has an attitude, a good attitude, a really strong, in your face, you know, unapologetic, just boom, 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 and I'm thinking, man, I want to interview this guy. He's probably going to be like real mean, but you're really, really nice, man. Really, very humble, man. I got to say, thank you for being really, really nice. Because I've interviewed a lot of people, and there's some a-holes in the business, man. And so I thank you so much for being humble, man, with all that you've done. You don't have to be, but thank you so much for being that way. You know.
Oh no, it's, you know, I think it's due to the Indiana good upbringing. You know, just a Midwest guy, never lost track of the fact that it took so many people from the days of the drum sets and the guitars and the bass that I sucked at completely through the years of being in those bands, rehearsing in your bedrooms and the kitchens of trailers and stuff, and to remember how many people that it took from those days clear to the day to keep me around and to even give me the courage and the desire to keep trying to get another rung up on the ladder. You know, I've never lost track of that. And I think, you know, with the family and the friends I have and I've kept around me close, that if I ever showed signs of it, they'd be quick to slap me around a little bit. So it's, you know, I appreciate that, because I've always tried to, you know, make sure and keep myself in check, because I've definitely been around this type of people that I think you're referring to, where they, you know, they think they deserve everything they get instead of realizing that, you know, there's so many other musicians out there. I've shared the stage with so many musicians, just as I'm sure they have, and they forgot, that could play circles around me talent-wise, and, you know, so much of it is luck. So it's, yeah, I appreciate that. I always try to keep that in mind, that it's a gift to still be here.
Yeah, I appreciate that, because, you know, I've done interviews for 10 years now. I started off interviewing a lot of athletes, you know, mainly particularly boxing and UFC, and started doing the music thing about 5 years ago, and I came across a lot of people. And there are generally some really good people, but then there's some guys, like you said, that's just like, look, kiss my feet. You know, I mean, like, you know, you're not Jesus.
Right.
I mean, you know, you have great music, come on, but you're not, you know, you know. But get back to the music, though, man. Like I said, we're on the line right now with Ryan McCombs, the one and only Ryan McCombs, man. That the guy is kick-ass talent with Soil. The new album, Whole, you could check them out on their website, man. It's a great album, man. Just check them out there at soiltheband.com. And you can check out their tour. They got merchandise. They got bios. They got music. You know, listening to the music, man, I mean, there are some really deep music on this latest album, as usual. But can you just speak a little bit on your influences when writing your music? For instance, the song, to make sure I get this right, Amalgamation, that is just
Amalgamation,
really deep.
Yeah. I've never been one in my entire career. I've never been one like your Metallicas or your Iron Maidens or something that can kind of like write a song from a book they've read or from some point in history. I seem to only be able to write about my own personal experience, which I don't regret at all, because I think we all experience the same things, and you know, in some degree. And I like being able to listen to what I've done and be able to connect to it. I always try to write vague enough that people can take out of it what they want. But Amalgamation, the song that you mentioned, was kind of a song I had some fun with, because I wanted to, you know, I spent 7 years with Drowning Pool. 7 years prior to that, I was with Soil originally. And I just kind of wanted to tip my hat to those experiences. You know, I had great years with the Drowning Pool guys and great experiences with those guys. And just I wanted to write a song that encompassed my past, my history. And so what I did is I sat down and with amalgamation, I took song titles from my years, my albums with Drowning Pool and my prior albums with Soil, and I pulled these titles together, and I sat down and wrote a song using those song titles that also meant something to me. You know, it meant, you know, it wasn't just a gimmick song with song titles. It also said something to me, and hopefully says something to other people out there. But if you look at those lyrics, man, you can start pulling all these song titles. And I went way back to like the demos of Soil from like 97, 98. It was a fun song for me to write, to kind of a different approach. It was an interesting experience.
Yeah, and I did notice that. Believe it or not, I noticed, you know, some of the words, and I was like, wow, that's you know, kind of about a great song, you know, really deep. And I really, like I said, of course, the video of Shine On is just really kick-ass. You seem like you have. I was watching the video today, and it seemed like you guys. Do you have fun making those things, or I mean, you seem like you're. I don't know. It seems like you're having fun.
It depends really on, like, that one was really fun to do. And for the same reason, we did one back in my days of Drowning Pool that also involved the fans, and that's what we did with the Shine On. You know, we put it out there on the social networks that we wanted actual fans to be a part of the video, and several of them came out to, a very nice group came out to the studio there where we shot the video out in Orlando, Florida. And that was fun when you can incorporate the people that allow you to do what you do and something like that. They have a blast doing it because they feel even that much more a part of it, and you have fun with them. Because I mean, you're right there face to face. It's kind of like that neat moment, that payoff that we get as musicians is that time on stage where you're actually able to connect with the people, and to do a video in that same vein where those people jumping around in that video, those people having a good time, those are our people, you know. Those are the reason we're there. So to be able to pull them into that experience and have a good time and share the laughs of the stupid things that come up during a video shoot, it made it for a fun time. There are videos, man, that are sometimes, like the Halo video, I left that thing black and blue and bleeding, so that was definitely not a fun time. But when something like Shine On, when you can pull the people in there and just have a good time together, man, that makes for a whole different cool experience.
And that's crazy when you mentioned Halo, because I believe that was the first song I ever heard of you guys years back, and I went and bought the album, and I was like, man, and I listened to it again today, you know, and I listened to all kinds of music. I was like, man, great music, man. And you mentioned the social networking, you know, and I got to ask this, you know, I read your tweets and go on your Facebook page, and I'm not stalking. No, I'm freaking stalking you, but I read your tweets along with many other tweets by other people, but it's funny stuff. But how do you feel that the social networking has impacted the music business? I mean, yeah, I know it has some, you know, pros and cons, but how do you feel that it has affected it?
But you got to I have to separate social network from the internet itself. I mean, we definitely know the negatives that the internet has had on the business side of music. I mean, it's not a new story whatsoever. We can tell that just by looking at the you know, how many new bands come about nowadays and stuff. You know, the money's just not there anymore in the business. But you separate that from the social network, and the social networking, I'm trying to wrap my head around it. That's been kind of a piece of the puzzle that's been thrown more into my corner, and I'm trying to wrap my head around it. But it's such a vital part now, because everybody's on the internet, whether it's on their phone or whether they're at work and they're kind of getting away with a little side fun on the computer. Everybody's on the social networks, and it makes it a very valuable way of reaching out to the people and letting them know when you have shows coming up, when, you know, if you have a new video released, letting them be, you know, making them aware that you have stuff going on, and that stuff is invaluable. I mean, it's nowadays when you're talking about touring and stuff, the promoters that do it right and really promote a show and get the local radio involved and get the flyers out there are so few and far between. the social network allows us to kind of hopefully fill some of those holes that are lost by people kind of lackluster, going about stuff kind of lackluster. Being able to actually connect with them and let them know what the hell's going on in the world of soil firsthand is a pretty powerful tool when you think about it.
Yeah, exactly. I know that's how my wife divorced me. I came in one day, looked at my Facebook page, and she had divorced on her,
That's how you found out?
No, it's a joke, man. It's a joke. No,
I was like, damn.
No, she better not. I'll beat that bitch down. No, I'm just kidding. I do not promote beating women. I do not promote beating women. But, I got drunk one night. I'm in Texas. My cousin, he's a big, he's a musician. Not as good as you, but pretty damn good. But he was, me and him did what we did one night. Man, I'm not trying to tell everybody, about me. It's about you. But we changed our status. He's married too, with a child. I'm with 2 children. But we changed our status to where we were together, like we're in some communion. And, man, people, I think I lost, like, out of 2,000 friends, I think I lost, like, 80. I mean, they were like, oh, my gosh, all my church friends, they all deleted me, thought I was, I was like, come on, it was a joke.
Right.
It's crazy, man. But no, it is, I mean, I'm pretty sure there's some people out there that probably have done that on Facebook, that's how they left, they probably, they let them, that's cold-hearted, man. I quit a job one time.
That is my, that's sub-zero weather right there. That's nasty.
I quit a job one time through text. I texted this boss. I said, screw you in the company. I'm done. But, it's crazy. To all the listeners, man, we got Ryan McCombs of Soil, man. You can check them out, soiltheband.com. The new album is Whole. You guys will be starting back on tour November 21st out in South Barrington, Illinois. And just go to, like I said, their website, check them out. And, how is it touring, man? I mean, it seems, I see a lot of guys it's like they have a lot of fun, but then you always go back to, like Bob Seger turned the page, how it's hard to be away from the family. And then I've even interviewed some guys that are like, everybody's like, man, we think this rock and roll life is great. It is, but there's a lot of hardships. I mean, touring, does it ever get to you sometimes? I know the fans are great, but does it ever like bring you down sometimes to be away from the family and just the, the light bulbs in your face, the lights? You ever get, how's that what I'm trying to ask, Kat, what does that do for you?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I don't want to sound, I don't ever want to get too far into the woe is me part of it, but, if you really if everybody out there experienced like your typical day, and I mean typical day, because it is, if you've ever seen the movie Groundhog Day with Bill Murray, that is life on the road. Every day is the same day. You crawl out of your bunk, you figure out where you are, you try to find out where the closest coffee shop is so you can get moving. And you get yourself squared away. You sit around then. Hopefully you have some press and stuff like that to bide your time. You wait for sound check. You go in, you do sound check. After waiting for several hours for sound check, you go in and you do about 15 minutes, if that, of sound check. Then you're back out on the bus and you're sitting around waiting for showtime. And hours later, then finally it's showtime, and depending on the type of tour that you're on, whether you're a support act or whether you're headlining, you may get anywhere from 30 minutes or an hour and a half on stage, and then you're off stage, you're back in the bus, and you're waking up the next day and starting the whole process over again. When you're doing that type of thing, and you're on the road through your Thanksgivings and through your children's birthdays and through the holidays and stuff, it knocks the crap out of your heart. There's a lot of things that people take for granted, being able to experience with their families, that you just miss out on in this line of work. I think when to explain myself, I think when my brother was a musician when I was growing up. He's probably the number one reason that I do what I do, because I wanted I followed in his footsteps. And he never, he did a lot of the local band stuff and had a lot of success on the local level, but never got signed or anything like that. And I think when I first got signed, I think there was a little bit of hard feelings there, a little bit of an odd, feeling involved in that relationship at that point. And one day I just sat down, we were standing there and just kind of casually said to him, I said, man, I envy you so much. And he kind of looked at me, he's like, you envy me or something to that point. I was like, dude, you get to come home from work every day and spend time with your family. You get to tuck your kids in at night. that is invaluable. That is awesome. I envy the hell out of you for that. And I think that put our worlds in perspective in his eyes as well. The fact that I don't get to, it's my choice at the end of the day. I chose to walk this path. So I'm not saying wham. At the same time, there's so much stuff that I miss out on, and I regret missing out on doing this for a living. And so, yeah, it's the road is cool. It's what connects you to the people that allow you to do what you do. But at the same time, you miss out on a lot of the stuff that being a dad and having a significant other involves for most people.
Yeah, that's really, that's good insight to that. You got that right. I mean, everybody wants to live this rock and roll rock star life, but they don't really know it. It's probably fun. At the same time, you miss a lot of things because you're on the road a lot. That's how you got to make your money. So.
Yeah, a great comment I heard one time was a great tech in the business. I got to know him when he was just starting out and young, and so I've heard his story. But his name's Casey Peterson, and when he first started out, he was young and he was at a show, and another tech that I'm very familiar with from my days of touring with Mudvayne and all. I forget what band he was with at the time, but they were doing a show somewhere in Iowa, and Casey was there early, like he always liked to do, just trying to see how everything worked, hopefully getting a foot in the door somewhere. And he was following, Todd kind of took him and put him under his wing as professional tech, and Todd was asked, like, what are you doing, man? What's this kid doing, following you around? And he was like, man, he wants to do this for a living, and I just wanted to show him firsthand this life is about a lot more than that poster on the wall, and it's a lot different than that poster on the wall. And I thought that was a great comment. It isn't all about that glamorous shot that you see. It's the life on the road for the techs, especially the techs who do all the work and get none of the applause. It's a different world out there.
Yeah, and you're right. It's like I guess there's an image, but it's not. It's like a picture. You look at a picture. You don't know who took the photograph. It's like there's something more behind it. And I guess it's glamorous and it's not glamorous. There's certain things like, I used to be, I got into porn at a young age, and I figured this is going to be a great life, get to be a porn star. But the problem was I went into gay porn, and that job was such a pain in the ass, man. I gave it up.
All right.
No,
man, you know how to steer that ship to a left turn real quick. That's awesome.
No, man, I'm sorry. Like I said, dude, I'm sober, man. I'm sober. That's the problem. I got an email from a cat. I'm gonna go ahead and ask this. I don't know if I should, but do you know anybody by the name of Don Thompson?
Man, I feel like I should. It rings a bell to me, but I don't know.
Well, this is what he said, and I don't know, don't get mad at me, but this is what he said. Here's a question for his little Irish angry hobbit ass. Now that you found Izzy, is she the one who completes you as she has brought you so much joy? Blah, ha, ha. Oh, yeah, how about a soil and THC tour sometime?
Now that I found Izzy what?
You found Izzy. I-Z-Z-I?
Yeah. Does she complete me?
Yeah. Does she complete you? Yeah. Huh. I don't know what to... Huh. Does that mean anything to you?
That definitely be somebody that knows the inner workings of my life. So I will answer that with a resounding yes. Okay.
And I'm so sorry for mentioning it. I didn't know. I mean, I don't like to talk about people's personal life. That's what they wrote. Huh. Don Thompson,
no. I'll put it this way. I don't shy away from it at all. I spent 38 years of my life, getting picked, and I finally found somebody that got me running and got me chasing. So, yeah, she's definitely a special lady.
I am sorry. I shouldn't even ask that. Don Thompson, you got me in trouble. I'm sorry.
Not at all.
Then you have some pictures of you naked. Now, what in the hell is that all about? No, I'm just
Oh, yeah. Who doesn't have those?
Yeah. What would you think about a Soil and Texas Hippie Coalition tour, man? I think that would be badass myself.
To be completely honest, I'm not real familiar. I always view it one way, man. If the band is cool and they're good people, genuinely good people, then I would look forward to sharing the road with them, because that makes a world of difference when you're out there going from city to city. If you're with a bunch of jerks that you have a hard time even talking to, it's a pain in the ass. It's just like going to work with a bunch of people that you don't really care to see. But if you're out there sharing the road with some genuinely good people, it makes for a much easier, funner time out on the road.
Yeah, that's. I won't keep you 2 minutes longer. I thank you so much, Ryan, for your time, and all the listeners out there. Go to soiltheband.com and check out their merchandise. Buy their latest album, Whole. It's well worth the money. It's not cheap music, but it's at a cheap price. It's very great music. I mean, I think it's soul at its best, man. I mean, I don't think you've lost a lick, dude, since you started back in the 90s, man. Still kicking ass. I got just a few more. Now, listen, you guys did, if I'm right, you guys did back last year. Y'all did the Ride for Dime, correct? Did y'all do that? I believe.
Yeah, and what was that? Was that the Tennessee one?
Yeah, I believe it was like 2012. But how, of course, December 8th will be the 9-year anniversary of his tragic passing. I mean, just horrible.
Man.
I gotta ask this. Of course, we know what happened with the guy over there. With the Lamb of God. With that situation, we've seen people, jump up and do dumb things. Now you don't do that at rap concerts, because them brothers will shoot your ass right off the bat. They're all packing there. But honestly, man, have you ever had anything like that? Someone, I've seen, like, it's been well documented how some of these fans will throw something at their singer or some dumb reason, But have you ever had anything happen like that? Like some kind of rabid, weird fan or anything do anything to you that you could talk about?
I've caught a bottle to the head before, a beer bottle to the head. I've had my fair share of people running on stage. Luckily in my situation, it was never anything more than just somebody that wanted, had probably 10 too many to drink and just wanted to feel a part of something that they were enjoying. Even in the case of the beer bottle, I had a discussion with that individual later on, and it was just a complete apology. It didn't mean to hit me with it. Didn't mean to. It was just one of those drunken moments of just blind stupidity of doing something, and it's the moment that it happened, you go, shit, why did I do that? And it was a pretty nice shot for for a drunk individual, right? But no, I've never had anything that made me fear for any reason while I was up on stage. We've been blessed with just great fans and the people that come out. So I think if somebody did do something at one of the shows that I've been a part of, I think the crowd probably take care of it before anybody else had a chance to.
Yeah, exactly. And that was such a horrible, tragic day. And of course, Dimebag Darrell was a total. I think he was a total badass. It had to be kind of.
Oh yeah.
Cool taking part of that at the same time. The reason. It's just tragic, man, tragic. But to all the listeners out there, we got Ryan McCombs, the one and only Ryan McCombs. Now, to all the listeners, for the fans out there, is that really you on Facebook and tweet? Or are you actually making those tweets yourself?
Yeah, that's me. Yeah, I wouldn't want to blame that insanity on anybody else. That's those little blurbs and posts on the Facebook. That definitely is crawling from my head melon right down onto the computer screen. So yeah, I wish I could blame somebody else for some of the crap that falls out of my noggin, but regretfully I can't.
And I laughed my ass off. I've seen the one where you posted the unicorn. I wish I was a unicorn so I'd go around stabbing fucktards with my head. That was classic. And
there's some people on there, they post such, they've gotten to know my personality, and different ones post stuff on my page, and I love going through this stuff. There's only so many hours during the day that you can be paying attention to this or that with the business side of things. I love being able to just sit down and scroll through what people have sent me on the fan page, and I get a kick out of it.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's really cool. Just a couple of questions we'll get off here. Tell the listeners again, Ryan McCombs, buy the album Whole. Really, really badass. What is, and I got to ask you, I know it's a dumb question, but you've talked to me about 30 minutes now. You're probably thinking, what a dumb son of a bitch. But what has been the most, what has been the most embarrassing moment for you that's happened on stage? I got to know.
Most embarrassing moment. Wow. There was a time where I wore a pair of jeans that we used to think these things were never going to make it, but every time we'd come off tour, I would go to the seamstress back in Indiana where I lived, and she would repair these. She hated seeing me walk up to her front door because she just knew I was bringing those stupid pants back to her. And one day I got up to the front of the stage, and there was a female in the crowd that was a little overzealous, and she got a hold of those pants and gave them a ripping, pretty much just taking the crotch right out of these things. And I'm not Britney Spears. I don't have a wardrobe change waiting on the side of the stage, so it was an awkward little time on stage with now having your jeans turned into assless chap on stage. The other one probably that comes right to mind was, I don't know how to describe this. Well, I'll just go with every single time I ever fell off a stage, and that's happened too many times. One time in particular, I don't know how to describe it to you, but basically the stage was very shallow. So what we did is we took a road case, put it in dead center off the stage in front, set it up on its end so that the narrow end was up in the air. We then took the two center wedges, the monitors, and we balanced those on that narrow end. What this caused was the monitors to be halfway on this case and halfway off the case. I went to go stand on the side that was not supported by the case underneath of it, and of course it went tumbling down to the ground and me with it. As I was falling, I grabbed the monitor to the right of me, but now I found myself feet on the ground, and these monitors, one on each side of me, kind of angled in on me. And as the security people tried to pick me back up onto the stage, I found my body in what I can only describe as one of those Japanese finger cuffs. Yes. Yes. So as they're trying to frantically get me on stage, they're basically quartering me, or they're basically ripping me in half, trying to get me back on the stage. And after a while, it was like I brushed them off, and we just sat there until we could figure out how the hell to get me out of this hole. So that was definitely not a shining moment in my career.
I have a friend, you may or may not have heard of him. His name is Alex Kane. He's played, great musician, used to tour with Marky Ramone, Anti-Product. He just did something with Alice Cooper a while back, but he was funny because he put a video on YouTube of him. He's overseas right now playing, but anyways, he was playing a gig and somehow his guitar messed up. He went to touch it. It actually electrocuted him. Like knocked his ass silly, and he got electrocuted on stage, and which isn't funny because it could kill him. And then the other day, he is in, like I said, Europe touring right now. He said that somehow his pants got ripped, like you're talking about the crotch, got ripped, but he didn't have no underwear on, and it was the very front, and he had a guitar. It's the only thing that's covering his junk, and he just kept playing. He said, "Thank God it wasn't." He said, "Thank God it wasn't cold." He just kept playing. So the sound check saved him, But Ryan, I gotta say, man, I got a last question. If you had any advice to give to any aspiring musician, whether they be male or female, whether it be country, whether it be rock, gospel, death metal, what advice would you give to someone who wanted to do the life and be in the life that you live? I mean, what advice would you give to these people?
4 or 5 years ago, you would ask me this question, and I've answered it before back in the day, and I've answered it this way. This is the answer I would have given 4 or 5 years ago, which was, about stay in school, forget about it, find something actually actually constructive to do with your life. And I always say that because it is so much chance. I left Indiana. I went and I slept on the floor of a garage for 3 years, trying to make it in Chicago with soil. I've shared the stage with much more talented people than myself that never got the opportunity. There's so much chance involved. There's so much being in the right place at the right time involved that that I used to always answer it that way. Just stay in school, make something of yourself. But I realized, I've tried to walk away from music now 2 different times, and if it's in you, it's in you, and you're screwed. So, if that bug has burrowed its way down deep inside your soul, you just got to do everything you can to make it work for you. Try to position yourself in the right place. If the scene isn't strong where you choose to go, do everything you can to make it strong. I mean, that's the biggest thing Chicago had going for it, was all those bands, Disturbed, Soil, 5.0, From Zero. That's one thing we all had in common, is we all worked together. And we all, if one of the bands was on a show and there was an opening on it, we pulled one of our buddies' bands on it. It was such a healthy scene to be in at that point in time in Chicago. If it's in you, just do everything you can. I've had conversations with past, bandmates from back in the garage days that I was like, man, I considered you my best friend back in the day. I kicked you out of the band 3 times. I'm sorry for being such a dick. And his response to me was, you know what, man? Everybody always knew that you knew where you wanted to go, and at the end of the day, you weren't going to let anybody get in your way. And I just think, that's really everything in my life took a back seat, relationships, even family, things that I regret, family, everything in my life took a back seat as I tried to climb the rungs to that ladder. And if it's really in you, you're going to have to view that, I think, the same way, and just, hope the people around you are as understanding and forgiving as the people that I've had in my life, and just go for it, man. Throw it out there, run it up the flagpole, see who salutes and who supports it.
That's a great answer, man. Ryan, I do apologize for keeping you so long. I want to thank you so much for your time, man. You're a class act, brother. Great musician. I mean, really, I mean, out of all the musicians, man, you're probably one of my 400th favorite, musician. Really, you're that.
Man, I appreciate it. It's people like yourself that allow people like myself to be in touch with the people that allow us to do what we do, and I appreciate that, and I really appreciate your time.
No, thank you so much. We'll do it again. And to all the fans out there, Ryan McCombs, man, lead singer, frontman of the band Soil, kick ass. Go buy their album, Hold, get on iTunes, go to the website, soiltheband.com, and check out their merchandise, see where they're touring, maybe if they're close, support this band. Ryan, God bless, be safe, be good, and we'll talk again, my friend. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Take care.
My deal. And to all the listeners out there, of course, that was Ryan McCombs of the band Soil. Class act, man, really down to earth. I'm just so grateful. Big Dog Radio. We hopefully want to march on. I don't know. There's been some changes in my life personally, so I don't know how much longer the show will go on. I still do it. It may not be every Tuesday or Thursday like I've been doing. We're looking to return hopefully this Thursday with actor Greg Ingram and the musician Brad Slitt from the band Slitt, formerly of Priscilla. We're going to continue to try to do the show, but just keep the Big Dog in your prayers, and we thank you so much for everything that you guys have done. To all the listeners, it's always, I love doing this. I want to thank the Carroll family for letting me continue to do this show and keep Bob, to keep his memory alive. So I want to thank you all. We're going to close, as we always do, with a little bit of young LBZ. Of course, this young man, Luke Brown Jr., was tragically killed 2 weeks after he did this song. It is Rewind This Song, Big Dog Radio.
Life gets hard, but it goes on. I know the time seems so damn long. May feel we gotta stay strong. So take a second to rewind this song. Life gets hard, but it goes on. Especially when you're doing wrong. You wake up and everything's gone. Take a second to rewind this song. I know it's hard for the young and the old, and the game's so gross, but I'm only 17. See, your boy got a dream of doing big things and accomplish everything that I have ever seen. But haters call me king, and there's a perfect queen. See, y'all know what I mean. I'm not stuck in between. Your life is on a screen, boy, and life is on the brink. God help, I think I'ma sink. Please, dawg, I just need the strength. I need to win, never a defeat. Turn up the beat and let my soul bleed. Spitting shit that my mama told me. It made me look behind me. It made me look inside me. It's what it took to find me. Life gets hard, but it goes on. I know the time seems so damn long. May feel we gotta stay strong. So take a second to rewind this song. Life gets hard, but it goes on. Especially when you're doing wrong. You wake up and everything's gone. Take a second to rewind this song. It's dead and it's gone. I'm headed down the wrong road. Follow if you're looking for the bronze, women and gold. Not the type to handhold. Hand strong won't fold. Money long while it won't close. I'll pull out the cash if you can't match. Niggas get exposed in the flash like that. Matter of fact, run that right back. Rewind that track. Cause the times get hard, but I still stay strapped with the truth to prove. If you want it, you can catch me in the booth. I choose to speak right, but the wrong I'ma do. Cause I'ma do me, nobody can change that. I'ma stand tall, never fall like a plane crash. But ain't that another thing I say that you can't grasp? Unless you unleash the beast and hear gas. Unlike you men and women that wear masks. Sitting what I'm living and still missing the past. Life gets hard, but it goes on. And I know you're feeling weak, just stay strong. It takes time, it won't be long. We do wrong, but we still just keep on. Life gets hard, but it goes on. And I know you're feeling weak, just stay strong. It takes time, it won't be long. We do wrong, but we still just keep on.
I woke up in the morning thinking my life was a dream. I'm 23 and I don't feel like I've accomplished a thing. My uncle said my wife is gone, not a penny to my name. Not to mention my homies from back in the day are starting to act strange. Getting mad for doing me, up in the studio making G's. They feeling their heart with just using me for what they need. The kind of betrayal I've seen can cut them in these. That's why I find myself up alone at night, no sleep. But if you can see what I see, then you would understand that nobody's perfect, we just do the best we can. There's times when you're helpless and there's times when you're strong. Sometimes you're living right, other times you're living wrong. But no matter how you're living, just keep pushing to the limit. Don't turn around and give in, keep it true, don't be a gimmick. If you have the heart to start something, show the heart to finish. They can take away your life, but your soul will be replenished.
Life gets hard, but it goes on. I know the time seems so damn long. May feel we gotta stay strong. So take a second to rewind this song. Life gets hard, but it goes on.